Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to another cooking show. As you can tell, I am not at home. I'm here at my office. We happen to have a nice little kitchen here, and what we're going to do today is we're going to make some beef flautas using a modified version of the home fresh recipe on making flautas. So we're going to have a little fun with that. So we're going to go over how to, I'm going to show you and cook for you the flautas. We're also going to have some guacamole and tomato verde. I think it's called tomato verde to go over top. And of course, a nice little lime sour cream sauce to drizzle over our flautas at the end of the day. So hopefully we are going to have a little fun. So other than that, happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody, realtors, friends, family, colleagues, everybody that's out there. So hopefully you'll enjoy this meal. I know I haven't done a cooking show in quite some time, and based on lots of feedback from friends and family, they want to see more. So here's an opportunity for that. So with that said, why don't we come on over? The camera going. All right, so what I've done is I've already chopped up some garlic, but I am now going to go over cutting up some onion. We're going to use the onion in our meat mixture along with our tomatoes and maybe our guacamole. But here I'm just going to simply slice it down, cut across, and then I'm just going to start pulling off skin, the outside. This is a really fun, easy meal. Sherry got this recipe from one of our food deliveries from Home Fresh, which if you don't know what Home Fresh is, basically Home Fresh is a subscription meal service, and what it allows you to do is maybe you want 1, 2, 3 meals a week, perfectly portioned, gives you everything that you can begin to create your cooking. So if you're new to cooking and not sure, maybe you just want to cook things outside of the norm, then this is a great service for that. I loved it during COVID, during the time where you were just limited in going out to the store. And a lot of times, have you ever found yourself being at the store over shopping, right? You end up finding out that maybe when you do shop that you end up throwing away maybe 60 to 70% of things that you bought because you didn't get a chance to cook it or eat it or what have you. Here, for that same $70 a week, you can get 3 meals, perfectly portioned if you're home of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and prep everything and then just have fun. And it's not just, when you think pasta meals or whatever, but you can gear it to a more health conscious, vegetarian, vegan type of meals, and they get delivered and they're really on time, which I really like. All right, so real quickly here with our onion, we cut it in half. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut lengthwise in small bits and then cut across. That way I get my nice dice going on. So here we're just going to simply come right on down. Cutting with the grain. What's nice about cutting with the grain is it limits all that spray that we end up crying about. If you want to, you can do cross cuts if you wanted to. So here I'll just show you what I mean. Here what I'm doing is very simply slicing across, being really careful not to cut your fingers. And now when I cut down, we get our nice slice, so our dice. So here I'm just going to dice one of these onions. And here I'm making, because we're doing a potluck here at the office, I'm making enough for 6 people. So we'll go over cooking the meats here in just a second, but making enough, hopefully, for 6. Usually, I do this for just my wife and I. So this will be a first time cooking this for people who aren't immediate family. Not that my work family is an immediate family. Now for my meat mixture, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it lengthwise this way. Okay. Keeping the root on for now. Again, limit that spray. But then what I'm going to do is I'm also, because I want to use this portion for my hamburger meat and this portion for the tomato Bried, is that now I'm going to take those onions, and now I'm going to cut them this way, thinwise. What's nice about this is that as this cooks, the onions will cook down, get nice and soft, and almost basically translucent. So here we're just going to get over here, and now again, being careful not to cut yourself, which is really easy to do. So there, got my onions. So now I'm going to take the elongated, not diced onions here. I'm going to put it in my pan over here just a little bit with my garlic, just like so. Bring back my onions. Now what I'm going to do, we'll just move this over here. The fun part, the actual cooking part. So here the meat shouldn't take too long. What I'm going to do now is use a little extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to turn on this convection stove. My first real time using a convection stove. I'm just going to put a little of that olive oil in here. And I'm going to save that olive oil for our flour tortillas here in just a minute. So here we're just going to real quickly do this. One of the nice things that I've heard about convection is that it heats up really super quickly and it cools down really quickly. So chances of you getting burnt are very few and far between. So here, just setting everything down, feeling that heat. Hopefully we'll get some sizzling going on here in just a minute. Now, typically, if you're doing this for 2 people, I would say from start to finish, this usually should take about no greater than probably, depending on how fast your prep is, probably about 30 minutes tops. I think you'll be really impressed with how everything comes out. So here we're just going to start getting the onions and the garlic to start releasing its flavor, its smell. Again, cook those down a little bit because once I put that hamburger meat in, hopefully this will go pretty quickly so we can add in all of our other fun spices. My paper towel. Okay. Onions are going really well. I think right now would be a good time for the hamburger meat. So I'm using about 2 pounds of hamburger. Now, what I've done is one is 90-10, 90% lean, meaning that very little fat, which is why I'm going to combine it with an 80-20 hamburger meat. You can use this recipe goes really well with chicken. So if you have time and you like to do chicken flautas instead, you can do that. I've even done the same recipe with Beyond Beef. So if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you want something alternative to meats, then that would be a real good thing to go with as well. So here I'm going to put in my 2 pounds, because I think 2 pounds will make about 12 Flautas. So here we're just putting that in. And I'm just going to break this up, start cooking this down. All right, so now seasoning. First, we're going to add some pepper. And as a staple, always salt, but I also like to flavor it with garlic because I'm a garlic person. So for me, garlic salt is the way to go. So here we're going to add some garlic salt. So a few pinches of garlic salt. And then we're going to taste that in a few minutes when this starts to cook more. You notice here that 90% lean beef, as good as it is when you're cooking with it, a lot of times you've got to have some sort of oil, olive oil, something. This is why not adding in a lot of olive oil. I wanted to cook this with 80% ground beef as well to add that little extra, little bit of fatty goodness. So now you could use also turkey meat, chicken meat. Again, you could do chicken flautas. The only thing I would do is take the chicken breast and slice it into thin strips. Would be my substitution. And of course, again, if you want a beef or a meat alternative, then Beyond Beef, from what I have tested personally, tastes pretty good. I'm usually not a fake meat type of person, but in trying it, because I was curious to see how it would taste, if it would taste a little different, it tasted pretty darn good. Did it taste the same as beef or chicken? No. Was it bad? Absolutely not. It was pretty darn good. So here we've got this going. Again, still cooking everything down. Try not to make a big mess here at work, because the bigger the mess at work, the more you have to clean up. Hopefully, we got this going. So this is still cooking. All right. Now, once this begins to cook a little bit more, I've got a little bit more cook going on. I'm then going to add in some Southwest seasoning. I think Home Fresh calls this taco seasoning. Hey, how you doing? Elise is walking in, so she's not on camera. That's okay. You need to stick them in the oven? Okay. So, I found this on Amazon for $3 or $4. A nice big thing here. It's McCormick's, which I really like McCormick, Southwest seasoning. I'm also going to use Goya, Goya, the Sofrito tomato cooking base. Now, Home Fresh calls for a Mexican paste. And I've looked online as to what that is. And basically, it's the exact same thing as this Sofrito. And here I'll just zoom in there. The Sofrito seasoning, found it at Amazon Fresh Store as well as Ralph's. I think Ralph's on the East Coast is Giant, depending on what state you're in. You can find it there. If you're in Texas, I'm sure you have something like that almost everywhere, just like Southwest seasoning. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. There we go. We'll put that there. Let that cook. So while that's cooking, real quickly, real estate agents. In June, California Association of Realtors is going through their normal update of all their contracts. You may or may not be aware of that. Just so you know, 80 contracts are being updated. Okay. The residential listing agreement is one of those contracts. So the RLA, along with a lot, if not all of the lease contracts, they're changing a lot of terms on a lot of these contracts, along with the BCO, the buyer counteroffer, the SCO, the seller counteroffer, the SMCO, the seller multiple counteroffer, is getting extra language added to those forms. I think on the listing agreement, they've added in a full paragraph, which I think has increased the listing agreement by 1 page. And I'll have to go through that. So double check that out. Go to car.org, move your mouse to where it says Transaction Center. And then from there, go to where it says Standard Forms and look for your form revisions for the month of June. So look at that. You want to start looking at these new terms. I do believe the TDS, the SPQ, the ESD are being updated, and they've created a new disclosure for landlords when it comes to their leases that's like the TDS. So that's one of the new forms that were added out of the two. So double check all that. Look at that. Hamburger is actually cooked up really nice. So now it's time to add in our other ingredients. So let's see if we can zoom in there. Come on, zoom. No zoom. Okay, no zoom. Trying out my Ozbot today. So while this is going, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to add in our Southwest seasoning. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in. Give it some spice. And now I'm going to add in our Sofrito. So here, a few tablespoons. In this case, I think for the amount of meat, I'm going with about a half a jar, or actually a quarter of the jar. And now I'm going to stir that in. I may actually add more because I do want this pretty flavorful. Oh yeah. Not enough. So when it's not enough, you just add more. It's always better to be under seasoned, and then you can add it later on. No problem. And here we're just going to add in some more of that Goya. So here we're just going to add in just my eye shot. Now again, I'm used to usually using this for 2 people or doing this for 2. Oh yeah, still not enough. Okay. Just 1 whole jar or 2 pounds of meat. Excellent. And then obviously some more seasoning. And now we're just going to slowly incorporate this, not trying to make such a big mess. There we go. That's exactly what color I want. I know that I got the right amount of seasoning. Taste with our clean spoon. That's good. It's got a little kick to it, a little spice, which is great. Got a little, and a little bit more. Give it a little bit more kick. I'm all about the kick. Perfect. All right. So now, time for assembly. So with our mixture in, we're just going to zoom on down here. Put all this to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assemble our flauta. It's really easy. So what I like to do, and this is my personal preference. I'm using organic, fresca, uncooked flour tortillas. You could use pre-cooked, already cooked flour tortillas. It's up to you. I like the way these puff up as it cooks in the oven, because what we're going to do is we're going to put our mixture in here, and then we're going to stick it in the oven for about 15 minutes so that it cooks, and just have fun with that. So, time for assembly. Hi, everybody. So, our flour tortillas, real easy to assemble. Again, organic, no preservatives. Great. Here we're going to take one of these. And now with our olive oil and our little brush, we're going to brush a little of the olive oil on the inside and the outside of the tortilla. You don't have to be heavy-handed, because a little does go a long way. And then with that, I'm now going to you know what? It's probably easier if I bring you back over here, get my assembly line on. And again, cutting down our mess. Back over to our mixture. And now spoon a couple of tablespoons onto the tortilla, just like so. And once we do that, they're now going to simply roll it. Just like so. And then stick it in the casserole dish. So at this point, it's just assembly. All right. So now with everything assembled, we're now just going to do a quick wash. Now we're going to stick it in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So here, I want to set my timer for 15 minutes. And now this is going to go in a preheated 425-degree oven. So here, there, that one right next to it. And now we've got that done. All right, so now, while that's cooking, this will allow us to do the other fun stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to make a sour cream sauce with lime. We're also going to make a tomato verde, and of course, we're going to do guacamole. So we're going to have a little fun with that. So back here, grab a couple of extra dishes. Hey, Ida, are you guys having fun?
Yes, waiting for your delicious flautas.
Good. Well, they're in the oven right now. So let's see here. I can find another pot. So with the remaining half onion, I split it up between two bowls, basically. One for our tomato, one for our guacamole that we're going to make, because I think these are two fun dishes to make together. But first, real super easy and quick, we're going to make that the sour cream sauce. So here, quick bowl. I'm going to use Daisy sour cream. Love this sour cream. I'm just going to pop it out. So here, what I'm going to do is simply put a few nice big squirts, just like so, in the bowl. And not that you can see that, but it's probably about, maybe 4 or 5 tablespoons of this. Okay. From here, we're now going to add about, what is it? About 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. So I'll be right back with that. And then we're going to take about a half a lime. So here with the lime. Now, I forgot my lemon zest or my zester. So here I'm just going to roll up and get those juices flowing in the lime real quick by just rolling it. So if you're going to juice anything like lemons, oranges, just do a quick roll and then take your knife. You want, cut it in half, cut it in quarters. I like to do a slit down the middle because it's easier to squeeze. And then from here, just going to put it right in the sour cream. Okay. And again, you can do this to taste. And what I mean by that, taste it. Don't be afraid. What we're doing is we're not getting that thick consistency of sour cream. We're just going to go with a watery consistency because we want to drizzle that like a sauce on top. And now with my spoon, I'm just going to sit here and dilute this, mix it, so that we kind of get a watery style consistency. Just like so. And if you wanted to add more, you could. Just depends on how much sauce you want. In this case, I think because of 12, I add a little bit more. That with my tasting spoon. Definitely needs more lime. That lime will really cut through the milk, which is basically what sour cream is. So. Okay, I guess in this case, a full line. There we go. All right. So that's the consistency I want of that, which is awesome. All right, so now for the other fun stuff, let's start with our tomatoes. Here I've got several vine ripened tomatoes. Simply, easily rinse them, wash them, dice them. And now I just need the wet tomato drizzle in my computer.
Normal. Normal.
All right. So real quickly. Triangle, get the root out. Let's just slice these bad boys up. From the pot. Again, I would usually have a bowl, but unfortunately, we don't have mixing bowls here. And I think that we did. I don't know why I didn't bring any.
Not to be
There we go.
Well, there was a funny story because I both went to Christmas party and then the vice president of the company was like, Patrick Manley and his daughter. Oh,
I think that's a lot.
He's starting to finally get gray hair.
Hang on. You've got five more minutes.
Okay. Fine.
There. Got extra tomatoes, great. Turn off my little cutting board. Just like so. Run off the area a little bit. And I want to set my computer on fire. All right, so lime. One. Two. Basically one whole line that we're making here. Here, I'll just bring that over. Add in some more garlic salt. Just a few pinches. And now, stir. Find one. Stir that up. So, tomato verde, done, boom. Now for the avocado or guacamole. Here, super easy. I cut right down on the guacamole. Now with a spoon, so we'll scoop all that fun stuff out. This was the messy one. Getting the seed out. No. Yes, Miss Lisa. See? We're having fun. Having fun. I meant to ask, do we have any pot holders? If not, I can make one, but I can make one. That's not a big deal. I thought we did.
I thought we did probably in the second or third drawer. No, you didn't find one?
I haven't looked yet, but it just dawned on me.
Second or third drawer.
Gotcha. You know, because I'll make pulling out the casserole dishes out of the hot oven quite interesting.
We could use a lot of maybe coffee filters.
Yeah, exactly. I saw something very interesting. Do you have a cast iron? A cast iron skillet? So I watched a gentleman clean his cast iron, and he said when he re-seasons it with oil, he uses coffee filters because coffee filters don't leave any residue like a paper towel does. So I thought that's pretty cool. So something fun new that you learn each and every day. By the way, do you want the pit? Do you like to grow your own avocado tree? No growing. All right. Good. All right. But here we just re-rinse. All right. Now the fun part. Mashing up all the. Excellent. Let's take a look. Oh, they got a few more minutes. Got a few more minutes. All right, I'm gonna set it for another 10. All right. So that was the alarm. Just checked on it. It's not overly done just yet. So hopefully soon we'll get that done for you all. So we'll double check some. Why doesn't that not look like it's cooking? Bake. Section. I'm hoping. This is new. All right. So now for our guacamole, I'm just gonna now smash up all the avocado, get this going, and get it. Because I could have done an easier way of breaking this up, but why do anything easy, right? We haven't even added our seasoning yet. By the way, if you didn't know, avocado is really good. It's a good source of good fats for you. So, great alternative to mayonnaise. My wife loves avocado. She makes avocado sandwiches all the time. So, is really good. If you don't like avocado, which I didn't think I'd ever like avocado until I had this particular style of recipe, which really simple: onion, avocado, or I should say guacamole. I didn't even like guacamole or avocados until I had it this way.
Facebook Live, isn't it?
Facebook Live, yeah. All right, so lots of fun cooking today.
Flautas, avocados.
Trying out this convection oven for the first time, so hopefully I can get it cooked right. That should have cooked by now, but hope to God the oven was on. All right, so now,
Oh, I like the setup.
like the setup, good.
I do.
All right, so a little garlic salt because I like garlic, and of course salt. A couple of pinches in there.
It's very good for you too.
Garlic's very good for your digestion. Awesome. People calling. And it's not even a normal call. It's one of those solicitation calls. Do you get a lot of those, Elisa?
I'm now getting more robocalls again, yes.
Yes. More robot calls. Gotta love that. All right. So here I'm just going to add in my lemon. Or I'm sorry, my lime. Lime juice.
That's delicious.
Well, I'm going to have you taste it. Tell me what you think.
Oh, okay.
Here in just a second. I'm going to give that a nice quick stir. Do you want to grab a little spoon there? All right. Tell me if it needs more salt, if it needs more lime. More salt?
It's perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. I like that. Look
Perfect.
at that. First time perfect. Excellent. Woo-hoo. All right. And that's our guacamole. So now it's just a waiting game for the flautas. Hopefully we can get that done quickly. And then if anything, I'll come back and plate up after everything's done and show you the results. Other than that, I'll talk to you all in a little bit. Bye. It is now done. So let's take a look at our results. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to come down below. We're going to open up our oven. We're going to pull these out. And now, there's our flautas. You can hear the crispy. So there's step number one. Come over. Plate number two. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Now, turn that off. We're going to come over here. We're going to put all this lovely fun stuff together. So I'm going to lower this just a little bit. And we'll assemble this, and then I'll assemble this for everybody else. So here, we're just going to grab that. It's nice and crispy right there. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little Mexican style 4-cheese blend. Here, we're going to go to a little four cheese blender right on top. Right? Maybe even put it over top of everybody else's. Kind of get that nice melt going on, hopefully. And you know what? I'll kind of do it a little differently, but this is what we'll do. We're adding a little bit of that tomato verde. Right on top of there. Right? Just right on top. And we can get some of that lovely juice. Do it over top of there. Get an extra tomato or two. Then we're going to put a little bit of our sour cream mixture again. Nice and runny. Don't need a lot, but a little goes a long way. Right on top, just like so. And of course, last but not least, a little guacamole. Finish off the dish. If it'll go. There you go. And voila. That's it. Now, how it tastes, we're just going to cut right into that. It's nice and crispy. Get our cheese, some of that guacamole. Right in here. If I can get it to stay on my fork without burning my mouth. Mmm. Mmm. So good, so tasty. Hopefully this was an easy recipe that you will try out, have fun making. Great for something quick, simple, when you heat up the oven just right. Other than that, I hope you all have a great and wonderful Cinco de Mayo. Happy Friday, everybody. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye.